Welcome to Just Saying, a podcast produced by and recorded at Tri-State Worship Center. Now your host, Pastor Terry Wagner.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the Just Saying podcast. This is Pastor Terry, better known as PT, and with me in the studio is a bunch of people.
A bunch.
More than we've ever had.
A plethora of people.
Oh, man, why didn't I use that word? You just heard the voice of Tyler Staten, our sound magician.
Hello.
Makes us all sound good. I don't know what I'm sounding like right now because we have so many people in this room that I don't even have headphones.
You got no cans.
I got no cans on my ears. We also have with us Holly Mo Schneider.
Hello.
Hi, Holly. How you doing?
I'm good.
This is your second week with us.
It is my second week.
We're trying out
How
different.
does it feel?
It feels good, I think.
You're not sure?
I don't know yet.
Well, why don't you just throw it out there? Good, bad?
I think it feels good.
Ugly?
No, we didn't. You ain't use Tyler.
Beautiful.
We don't use that word
I wasn't talking about you.
Oh. Anyway, this season on Just Saying, we've been talking to some ministry leaders, people that have different ministries, not just at Tri-State Worship Center. First week, I think we talked to Stacy Metcalf about God Factor Ministries, and then we talked to somebody last week. I don't even remember who it was now. Who did we talk to?
We talked to Tyler.
Tyler, that's right.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I kept thinking, I was like, there wasn't anybody else in the room.
He wasn't doing a bit.
No.
He really did forget.
There wasn't anybody else in the room. I was
Me.
like, wait a minute. There was Holly and Tyler and me.
Who else?
But who else was here? Nobody else was here.
Last week was the Holy Spirit.
What are you calling yourself there, Tyler?
I don't know.
And we also have Tyler's little one with us today.
I was really hoping he was going to be able to hold out. He made it a minute.
Well, I don't even know if it really was a whole
2
minute.
2 minutes.
Yeah, okay. But anyway, we're just interviewing different ministry leaders and about different ministries that are in the area. And today we're going to talk to several people, 3 different people about our Royal Ranger program here at Tri-State Worship Center. We'll talk specifically about that in just a moment. But what I'd really like to do first is just let them introduce themselves to you. And I'm going to start with Ryan. Ryan Schneider is the associate pastor here at Tri-State Worship Center, also our youth pastor with his wife Holly, who they are sitting together in the room today. And so Ryan,
holding hand. No, they're not holding hands.
No PDA in the room. Sorry.
No PDA in the podcast studio.
So let me just ask Ryan first. Ryan, take a couple minutes just to introduce yourself, kind of tell the people where you came from, what you're doing, who Ryan Schneider is.
Well, you've done a really good job at telling them that I'm the associate pastor and youth pastor here. I've always been in this area.
I stole it. I'm sorry.
You took it. That was going to take up the first 30 seconds. No, I've always lived in this area. You know, I was South Point, Chesapeake area. I went to school at Chesapeake and whatnot. Did a little bit of college. Wasn't in the plans to be the lawyer that I thought I was going to be. My mom got sick, and she needed me to come home and kind of get a job, and I did. And you fast forward about 4 years of that, then I started attending church here. And then you fast forward about 3 years of that, I started teaching Sunday school. Fast forward about 2 years.
3 years again?
Yeah. Well,
3 year increments.
It's an increment.
Yeah, well, about 2 years actually teaching middle school Sunday school. I went to Holly and talked about becoming a youth leader inside of the youth group, Journey Youth. And she said, that'd be awesome. Come on in.
She said, no, first you have to marry me.
Well, she didn't actually. As rumor has it, apparently I approached it a very wrong tone and manner, and she was not real happy. You were the one that said you should bring him in anyways. So.
It's true. It's all your fault.
That's why I'm here.
I had my reasons.
And then you fast forward after that about another 4 years, and then Holly and I became co-youth pastors, and then probably 3 years after that, full-time here at the church. And then here I am.
And how long have you been full-time here at the church?
Working on probably about 2.5 years now.
Man, we got 6 months before something's going to happen. It's another increment.
Another 3 years.
Of 3 years. It's going to happen. All right. Also in the studio with us, we call it a studio, but it's really just a room in the church.
It has many purposes.
It does.
Surrounded by snacks.
We were surrounded by more snacks than what's in here right now, but we had to move some of them out
We had
to
to
make
wheel
room.
them.
for everybody. We used to be able to try to get money for advertising, but all those are gone now.
Yeah.
So, Shawn Johnson.
Apparently, Oreo and Chips Ahoy are doing fine.
Hello. Yeah, they don't need our help. Shawn Johnson is in the room with us. Shawn is a member here at Tri-State Worship Center, our drummer on the praise team. He also leads our young adult ministry, but we're not here to talk about the young adult ministry.
We'll save that for another episode.
Yeah, we'll put that in there somewhere. But Shawn, just tell us where you're from, who you are, what's going on in your life, how you got here.
All right. Well, thanks for that introduction, PT. I'm originally from West Virginia. Grew up in a small town called West Hamlin. And
excuse me, where is East Hamlin?
I have no idea.
Okay, all right. Just wanted. I've been to West Hamlin,
Yeah.
but I've never seen East Hamlin.
Yeah.
Just like East Kermit, where's West Kermit? I don't know. Why do they do that?
I have no idea.
Okay, go ahead. Pick up where you left off.
So, yeah, I grew up in West Virginia. I now live here in South Point, Ohio, and I've been an attender here at Tri-State Worship Center for 12 years now, which is crazy.
Really?
Yeah, 12
Man,
years.
That is crazy.
Yeah, and I serve in young adult ministry, as you pointed out, in praise team ministry, and I've also had the pleasure of serving under Holly and Ryan previously in Journey Youth, which was awesome. I stayed pretty busy with my career. I've been working in the industrial safety field for almost 24 years now.
Wow.
Makes me feel even older to say
You're
that.
only 21.
Yeah. So started at a very young age. And I also stay busy with my 3 kids, Lucy, Leo, and Calvin.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got a pretty full life and a full plate. But, I'm very, very happy to serve in Royal Rangers, which I'm looking forward to talking about.
Good. Man, we really appreciate you and your family here at Tri-State Worship Center and all the different things you guys are involved in. And then the youngest member in the room today.
With a nice facial hair started.
Yeah, it started.
Yes.
If we had a video podcast, we'd be
could
able to
see
show it to you, but we don't have that
I
yet.
saw it on Sunday when I was sitting catty corner to him, and I thought, Andrew's growing
Is
a
that
beard.
Grizzly Adams?
Look at him.
He's
Looking
such a
all-
mountain man.
Looking all collegiate.
Andrew Stoll in the room. Andrew, take a minute, take 2 minutes, take 5 minutes if you want, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been living in this area all my life, like Ryan has. I also graduated from Chesapeake High School, and now I'm going to Marshall, and I'm studying mechanical engineering at Marshall.
Wow.
Nice. Very nice.
Man, Mr. Smarty Pants in the room. Mechanical engineering. And I know this doesn't have anything at all to do with what we're here to talk about, but is that what your dad does? Is he mechanical engineer?
No, he's not an engineer at all, I don't think. But he knows all the stuff that I've learned
Oh, okay.
through
All right.
engineering.
All right, cool. Well, these 3 guys, Ryan and Shawn and Andrew, kind of tag team lead what we call our Royal Ranger ministry. Royal Rangers, I'm going to let them talk about it, but Royal Rangers is pretty much like Boy Scouts, but with a very spiritual core to it. And it's about equipping young men to become leaders in the next generation. And we currently do that with kindergarten through 12. But we're always looking at expanding that. So let me start with Ryan. Ryan, you recently stepped into the kind of like the leader's role there at Royal Rangers. Can you? I mean, I know I kind of said what it was, but just kind of put in a nutshell there. What is Royal Rangers? What is it, and what's the purpose?
Well, we're just teaching young men at an early age how to be godly men. And equip them with tasks, not just things like how to change oil or a flat tire in a car, but we also sit down and have a classroom setting on what it means to be still and wait upon the Lord. If anybody who has 2 eyes watches the news, we can see that our young generation is losing the battle there with spiritual and biblical knowledge, and that's one of the things that we focus on a lot. Every class there is a biblical teaching that follows the activity we do, whether the activity be how to handle a knife, start a fire, or how to pick up, and I know this sounds funny,
A
but
controlled fire.
well, yeah, but we've even done lessons as how we can throw as many ball pit balls on the floor and pick them up, and there has been lessons behind it, and believe it or not, good ones.
I believe
So
it. I believe it.
So, but the main thing with Royal Rangers is, yes, we like to get you together. Yes, we like to fellowship. Yes, we like to teach them, outdoor things and like masculine things. But the most important thing that we focus on in the class is, God. And how can we do all those things and represent that masculinity in a Christ-like way?
Shawn, who can participate in the ministry, age group wise, as far and also, and I think I mentioned in the opening, whether it's Tri-State Worship Center people only, or is this open to the community? Tell me a little bit about who can be part of the Royal Rangers.
Well, the range is pretty wide as far as who can serve. I mean, obviously we vet people to make sure that it's going to be safe for them to be around the kids, but obviously it's not just limited to members of Tri-State Worship Center. We've had people in leadership roles that don't necessarily go here to this church, maybe to another local church, but that might draw them in and get them to Tri-State. But we're looking for people that have a heart for ministry, that want to work with kids, and particularly, people that are not afraid to, share their knowledge and help young boys discover their purpose in life, and what they're designed to do by God. We're, obviously, in the fifth year of the ministry,
Wow.
with some changes, obviously, in leadership. But I like where things are going. And as Ryan pointed out, the biggest thing is we want to make God the focus and the center of what we're doing as a ministry.
Man, that's cool. And to just to emphasize that it is a ministry that's open to the community. I mean, if you have a young man, like I said, especially in that age range from K to 12, we would love to see them. When do they, tell me when they meet again? Maybe you said this and I just didn't hear it.
No, we meet on Thursdays, and recently we've started doing a rotation where we meet every other Thursday, just to give the leaders some time to really put some emphasis on the games and activities and the lessons that are taught, just so that it doesn't feel like an obligation. Just we got to be here every Thursday. We want to make it meaningful. We want to use the most of everyone's time, and really make an impact and give the kids an opportunity once we've delivered a lesson or an activity to let them ponder that, focus on it, and apply it to their daily living.
Yeah. And what's the best way for someone to find out whether this is the on week or the off week? Is it on, like Facebook page or the website or?
Well, we communicate mainly through the GroupMe app,
Okay.
And Ryan has done a great job of setting that up and getting communication out not only to the leaders but to the parents, so that they can stay dialed into what we're doing and what's coming up on the horizon. But of course, they can reach out to any of us leaders on Facebook or whatever channel of communication where they can reach us.
Yeah.
Contact to the church. We'll get back in touch with anyone that has any questions very promptly.
We do also have on the website tswc.org on the events calendar is lined up with our Google Calendar. So every week that it's an on week, you'll see that date.
Yeah, so they can go to tswc.org, click on calendar, and it should say on there whether this is an on week or an off week. You can also call the church office 740-523-0231, and you may have to leave a message and we'll get back to you. But we will get back to you and find out. Hey Holly, what's going on over there?
I have a question.
What?
Andrew.
Ooh.
All right,
Andrew.
fire away.
Started as a student when it came to Royal Rangers. You've now moved into a leadership position with Royal Rangers. But can you tell us what, in your student time, what things, impacted you, what Royal Rangers did for you to kind of make you want to stick around and be that leader for other kids?
Well, I didn't really start as a leader because when we started, we didn't have the Expedition Rangers, which is the high school age group, and I was in high school when we started. So when I started, I was helping Tim with giving out papers, making sure that everything was ready for the boys. after they split up into groups and came from their group meetings and their personalized age group meetings back to the rest of the group. And so I helped with that. I've also helped with teaching some of the boys like merits and different life skills and stuff like that. That is a part of the Rural Rangers curriculum.
Awesome. What are some of the activities that you guys have done that have been really impactful that you remember?
I've taught them about aerospace and rockets because I like that a lot, and they seem to enjoy it a lot. We've built model rockets and launched them before. We've also fired BB guns and taught about BB guns and stuff like that.
That boy doesn't love to shoot a gun.
I mean, other people in the room, leaders, I never had the opportunity. I'm truthfully, Royal Rangers was around when I was a little guy. I
That
know.
long?
I know. When Noah landed the ark and we all got off and went to Royal Rangers. I
It's
get
been
it.
a long
He
Oh.
remembers when it was just
years.
Royal Ranger.
Yeah,
Just one.
How did you know that?
Yeah, just.
But
thing
you're
I-
you're the guy that was part of the group when we first started it, and now here you are as part of the team that's leading it. Just if you can put it into words, what has it meant to you?
Seeing all of the leaders show me what a leader is like and what to be as a leader has helped a lot.
Shawn, I know you have at least one that's involved, right? Is Calvin old enough yet?
Yes, Calvin
Okay.
is involved now too.
How do you see Royal Rangers impacting them? What kind of impact is it making on your kids?
I think it's a great opportunity for kids of different ages to assemble with other children their age and just have kind of a space where boys can be boys.
Right.
And I think that's something that's lacking a lot in our society. And with my sons especially, it's just it's been a rewarding experience. And they did reap the benefit of coming in a little early.
Mm-hmm.
And I promised when that happened that I'll take full responsibility for anything that they do, good or bad.
Right.
But it's been a great experience for them,
Mm-hmm.
and for me personally, it's been awesome just to have some father-son time where there's no other expectations. Nothing else is going to interrupt. It's dedicated time to spend with them and to focus on God together.
Right. Yeah.
It's been very rewarding for me.
Cool. Ryan, tell us what a meeting looks like. Just take us from opening to closing, what the meeting looks like.
Well, from the beginning at 6 o'clock on the Thursdays that we meet, Andrew and Zach Stoll, they get everything set up, and the Rangers will go through the Pledge of Allegiance, and then they go up through the Ranger Code, they go through the Ranger Motto, and then we take about 5 minutes to talk about the lesson previous before and how they applied it to their life that week, and then we go over any announcements that we have, and then we start diving right into the activity of whatever that may be.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now, we're actually taking each meeting we take the Rangers Code and we apply that, and the activity goes with the Rangers Code. I think the last one we did was courteous, and we went through the church and pulled all the trash and cleaned some things, and just wanted to help out around the church to say, hey, here we are, to be loyal to the church, to be courteous to the church, and do those things. And here's the beautiful thing about it. That lesson idea came from Andrew. It wasn't even mine. He said, wow, this is something that I think they could really benefit from. I said, you're absolutely right. So he came up with that idea all on his own, and we have been taking those codes and really applying it and encouraging each ranger to read it, memorize it, know it, but most importantly, live that
Right.
code. That's what we're doing right now. Obviously, when we get out of the codes, we'll be teaching broader things and doing things, like I said, anything from how to properly change a tire and oil in the car. Those things will happen, yes, but most importantly, what we will focus on is a biblical teaching. Mm-hmm. So when they walk out of there, they might think, hey, I learned how to change a tire, but they also learned how to be a Christian while doing so.
Right.
That's a kind of a great way to introduce them to that, though, starting with the codes and not only understanding it and applying it and living it, and then work your way up to this is what we do with Scripture, too. Not only do we read it and we follow it, but we apply it to our lives every day, and we live it.
Yeah.
And they get fed.
Well, yeah, we
Spiritually
do,
and
and
otherwise.
physically, yes,
Most
we
important
do
thing.
we do feed them on Thursday nights as well. So, like you said, spiritually and physically. But I mean, Shawn and Andrew, they don't say a whole lot, and they don't get in front, and I get a lot of credit for looking really good. But I promise you, along with the other leaders that's in there, they make me look really good. They came in and they gave me these ideas, and we've had really sometimes tough conversations, but all of it was how we can make Rangers better every meeting, not just how can we make it better right now. No, we want to make it better every meeting. We want the kids to come in hungry, not only, physically hungry, but spiritually wanting to know more about God and how they can learn these activities and apply it to their daily lives.
So, dealing with such a wide age range, I'm sure that there comes times when, discipline is something that has to be exacted. It has to be brought out. And so Ryan or Shawn, either one of you two can answer the question. Is what happens when we have a unruly one that we have to kind of crack down on?
One.
What happens when we have an unruly 20?
I'm pretty sure for about a week, Shawn's children hated me. So I'll let him answer that one.
No, for the record, they don't hate you. They hate me because they got another lecture when we got home. So no, great question. I think the way that we handle discipline it's very fair, but it's very very to the point. We want to make sure that we stop any behaviors that are not befitting of a Royal Ranger. Typically it's just a verbal conversation, but if things escalate, if the behavior continues, Ryan has put in some really great policies to pull students aside and meet with parents as well, and make sure that everyone's on the same page. We haven't had to go to that extreme yet, but that's just part of the policy. But sure. I think when we relaunched Rangers in the last couple of months, there was a really great meeting at that opening, and Ryan did a very great job of explaining to the students and the parents that here are the expectations, and these are the things that we need from everyone. But it wasn't just here are the rules and you're going to follow it. There was some great biblical explanation as to why we need these things, and it's to benefit everyone, so that everyone gets the most out of their time with this ministry. Yeah. And so far, I think it's working really well. Good. And Leo and Calvin do not hate you, I promise.
Andrew, do you know off the top of your head, which I'm sure you do, what is the Ranger pledge? Am I putting you on the spot?
Oh, the Ranger Pledge.
Yes.
With God's help, I will do my best to serve God, my church, and my fellow man, to live by the Ranger Code, to make the Golden Rule my daily rule. There.
Nice.
Cool.
That's good.
Well, I do think, obviously we want these young men to come and have an incredible experience, but we want to do that with teeth to it. And the teeth being, we want to drive home a spiritual point, a spiritual lesson. We also want them to enjoy, time with each other, whether that's through the craft or the whatever that particular event is for the evening, and to be able to also feed them. I know sometimes. What time does the meeting start? 6.
Yes.
And so sometimes, I know that's a challenge for some parents to be able to, get home from work, get some food, then bring them to Rangers, and we'll take care of the food part. And as pastor here at the church, I do want to throw out also that we have security here on those nights. It's not just that we have a bunch of young men, and we also have our girls club that meets that particular night, which is Glow. But we have part of our security team is here to make sure things are up and up, and that the kids are protected. So I don't want anybody to think that we just have a group of young men or even young girls here that without the benefit of having some security. So I wanted to throw that out there as a pastor, that we want to protect these children and keep them as safe as we can possibly keep them safe. And so I'm, as a pastor, just incredibly thankful, for all three of you and for anybody else that's involved in the leadership, because I think that, and I think you said it earlier, Shawn, there is an element missing in young men growing up today that they don't get the teaching, the training, the discipline, the spiritual aspect of it. And I think it's awesome when any church, not just Tri-State Worship Center, any church can offer, that kind of an element to help parents. We're not here to take a parent's place. We're not here to substitute parent. We're here to make an addition to what parents are trying to do. And I think that what you guys do is just incredible. And so I just want to say on the podcast, thank you to all three of you for what you're doing. Let me ask a couple more questions, and we'll finish up here in just a minute. Do you guys have any events outside of church that are coming up that you want to throw out there? Anything going on that we want to advertise?
Yeah, actually been talked with Andrew, and Andrew's going to be getting with Dee Russell, who is the leader of the Glow Girls, and Eric Wall. In October, we're going to be putting on a Royal Rangers and Glow event together, to where we'll be doing escape rooms and kind of having like a little friendly competition to see who can get through the escape rooms a little quicker and whatnot. Friendly competition.
That sounds dangerous.
Yeah. Somebody's going to get. Yeah. No, we don't want to say that. Well, I mean, I think
They're
it's
gonna come
really.
to church
it's
and
just,
they're all going to be locked in rooms.
Yeah. Well, now that might be okay. That could probably work out. So what can and either of the three of you or all three of you can answer this question. What can the church, the local church, do that would help you guys? That would help the Royal Ranger ministry. What can a local church do to help make that ministry more impactful, more successful, more reaching? Whatever word you want to use there. What do you think? What can the local church do to help you guys?
I just spoke. I don't want to hog the mic. So Andrew and then Shawn, and then I'll clean up. Go ahead, Andrew.
I think having more people able to be involved with this would help a lot. And then also, even if they're not involved here at TSWC, they can start Rangers at their own church. I think the closest outpost to us is like an hour away, so we can't do anything with them. There used to be one in Huntington, and we had a Pine Car Derby race.
That was cool.
With them, and they stopped having Royal Rangers, so we can't do that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be, and again, we throw the challenge out to any local church to start a Royal Ranger program for young men in the church, and I do think that the camaraderie that could be developed between churches. Again, I know that unfortunately there's been this weird thing between churches for the last 50 years or 100 years that really Royal Rangers could be one of those elements to be used to break down some of those walls. Let's just bring our groups together. So yeah, a local church to open up and have their own, that'd be great. Shawn, what do you think?
Well, I would encourage anyone that's listening from another church, if they're interested in Royal Rangers, come check us out.
Oh, great idea.
Yeah. And we would love to have some additional help if they would be interested in that. And we can share information, and we can share things that have worked, things that haven't worked. It's not all proprietary information by any stretch. So we
would only give them that information if they left an offering. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Help out with the building fund a little bit. Anyhow, but we would welcome that help, and we would also reciprocate and and help them get started if they would be interested in doing something like that.
I'd much rather learn from someone who's been there and done that.
Absolutely.
Than to try to do it on my own. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Ryan, what do you think? What can the local church do to help Royal Ranger ministry?
I think you hinted at it a little bit, is if you don't have your own Royal Ranger ministry, because you come to this one doesn't mean we're trying to steal your people. What we're trying to do is instill some godly character in young men, so when they grow up, they won't deviate from that. I'm not saying, only thing I ever offer, and any of these leaders ever offer, is if you are unchurched, we encourage you to go to church.
Sure.
We don't even say Tri-State Worship Center. We would obviously, selfishly, would love to have you, but get into church because it's important. So I think the local churches could really benefit from understanding that here at Tri-State Worship Center, we're not trying to take anybody. What we want to do is equip some young men that are from kindergarten through high school, to 12th grade, that are heavily influenced. They're trying to be confused. They're being pushed to be confused on what bathroom to use, and if they're a boy or if they're a girl, or if they feel like a cat today. And we're trying to stop that. We're trying to bring up a generation in the way of the Lord so they won't depart from it when they're old, and they can pour into as well. It's none of that. And if you're like, man, I really want to be a part, I really want to help, I don't have a child, Shawn said it best. We will come and talk to us about getting involved in the leadership. When we do fundraisers, come and help out however you can. I'm not just financially. I know a lot of people's like, oh, we'll take, if you want to give a donation, hallelujah, thank you, but come and get involved, because the labor part of it is equally, if not more important. So, I mean, that's it. I think those are huge things.
I think that's an important point to make is, again, I'll take it from our promo video that we run as a countdown. We don't want to be the best church in the community. We want to be the best church for the community. And I think this is one way we do that. It's not about, and, our VBS is coming up here soon, and someone posted on Facebook today that it's not about trying to grow our church. It's just about ministering to kids. And again, I think
it's more about growing the kingdom.
Right, exactly. And then be able to be a keeper of the kingdom.
That's right.
But my point is that I just think that churches need to quit worrying about their castles, right, and start worrying about the kingdom. And we do that by ministering to our communities, not just to this church, but to our communities, to be able to somehow reach a child who needs Jesus, who needs to know about Jesus. And Royal Rangers is an incredible program to do that through. VBS, a good way to do it through, and our Glow Girl program that we do here for young ladies. I think all those are great ways for us to reach out, but it's not just a Tri-State Worship Center focused thing. It's a community thing that we want to reach out and touch the lives of children, young men, young women, and impact them with the gospel. And it is a shame that the church has kind of gotten to the point where, we're afraid to do something with another church because we're afraid that, somehow, some way we're going to steal our people. And I know that that's not what this podcast is about, although I'd love to have a podcast about that sometime. But it is something that we want to try to just impact the lives of young people with the gospel, because the truth is this generation is one particular pioneer said we're a generation away from losing Christianity, and I think that this is one way we try to prevent that from happening. We get involved in the lives of young people, and we do that now in hopes that it will make a difference as they continue to grow up in the world. So last question from me. You guys can carry it on if you want, but what Shawn, I'll go with you first. What's the end goal? If you could close your eyes, wiggle your nose, reference to Bewitched, and open them up and say, here is the perfect outcome of the Royal Ranger program. What is that?
I think the perfect outcome is to raise leaders, in the future.
Yes.
And Andrew's a great example of of being a product of Tri-State Worship Center as well as Royal Rangers, and I hope to see other young men that are in the program now leading it in the future.
Yeah.
Perhaps you could be talking to them at a podcast 10 years from now. But the most important thing is raising a group of young men and training them and equipping them to be able to navigate the world around them and show the light of Jesus to others wherever they're at, whether that's in school or down the road when they're working and in their careers. There's so many things out there in the world today that are so confusing, but Royal Rangers gives young men something that the television can't give them, that the video games can't give them,
true.
That the culture cannot provide, and that is a Christ-centered, not just education, but real world experience where they can take the things that they've learned, whether it be spiritual concepts or physical application of skills that they can use to better their lives and those around them.
Wow. Good. Well said. Ryan, final word. What give you 60 seconds if you want it to give the best advertisement that you can give to maybe invite and encourage some people to come join us.
We meet every other Thursday, 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock to 7:30. And the encouragement is this. We want to pour in spiritually, biblically, and also with handy ways to go and skill sets into your young men to bring up a generation to pick up the mantle that our generations has set down. And there's a group of leaders that want to pour into your young men and help them pick this up and teach them what the Bible says we need to do and equip them now. So when they get our age, they are not wavering, and the kingdom of God is only flourishing.
Yeah. Wow. Good stuff. Holly?
I just was going to read, because they talked about the Royal Ranger Code. I was just going to read that real quick.
Read
just
it on.
So we kind of know what we're talking about. So the Royal Ranger Code is to be alert. He is mentally and physically and spiritually alert. He is clean. Hallelujah, especially for boys. In body, mind, and speech. Honest. He does not lie, cheat, or steal. I want to make a wrestling reference, but I'm not going to.
Thank you.
He's honest. Oh, I already said that. He's courageous. He's brave in spite of danger, criticism, or threats. He's loyal. He is faithful to his church, his family, his outpost, and his friends. He is courteous. He is polite, kind, and thoughtful. Obedient. He obeys his parents. Yes, Lord.
Hallelujah.
Leaders and those in authority. And he is spiritual. He prays, reads the Bible, and witnesses. So like Ryan said, that's what they're going through right now is teaching those codes and putting life applications into them. So I think that's awesome. I know we haven't mentioned our son, but Ryan and I have a 6-year-old who is involved in Royal Rangers, and he loves it and looks forward to it. And one of the cool things that I can just say as a mom, being on the outside, is it has given him an opportunity to have some good examples of some boys that are just a little bit older than him, even high school age, middle age boys that he looks up to and watches and wants to, be like. And so that's an amazing thing that they have, is the different age levels also gives them the opportunity to develop these little leaders within the group, which I think is cool.
Yeah, that is cool. Tyler, you've been quiet.
I'm just wondering when the co-founder/creator of Sports Ball is going to introduce Sports Ball to the Royal Rangers.
That's a great idea.
Did I mention we have a lock-in this Friday?
For those of you who don't know, Sports Ball is a game that was created by myself and Shawn Johnson for Journey that is a whirlwind of excitement and confusion in all the best ways, involving many different sports in the same game.
Yes.
Yeah, no two games are the same.
That's true.
We also want to give credit to Holly for the title, because that's
true.
what she called every sport with sports ball.
Anytime we played anything related to a sport, it was called Sports Ball. So, yeah.
Well, there you go. Well, who knows? Maybe it'll happen this Friday night at Tri-State Worship Center. All right. Well, we're at the end of another episode. We appreciate you joining us. We hope that what we're trying to do in this season is just to expose ministry and some of the backstory, as well as some of the information that people would need to either get involved or maybe check it out. Let me just encourage you once again to go to tswc.org, and you can check for the Royal Ranger program there. Call the church office, 740-523-0231. You can also go to the Facebook page. I think, is it TSWC Royal Rangers, or is it Tri-State Worship Center Royal Rangers? I can't remember.
I think it's Tri-State Worship Center Royal Rangers.
Okay, and or you can just again get in touch with the church office. We'll direct you to the right place. But we would love to have your young man Go ahead.
It's TSWC Royal Rangers.
TSWC Royal Rangers. I should have went with confidence there, and I backed off a little bit, and backing off just made me a little bit more uncertain. But yeah, TSWC Royal Rangers. Just go there, and there's some information there as well. And I hope that you're beginning to hear that ministry at the local church level. Ministry at the local church level is not just people showing up 5 minutes before a service or before an event and, doing something. It really is work. It's a calling. I believe people are anointed to do what they do. And especially what I love about the Royal Ranger program that we have currently is the teamwork that's being used to continue to guide and to lead this ministry. So, guys, I just say thank you. Stay at it. I know that times I'm sure it gets trying at times, but what you're doing is incredible, and the lives that you're changing. Even think about this. Even if it was just one that you're changing, I mean, how much is that worth? Just that one person, if we could change. And again, I think using Andrew as an example is that's it. That's where it's at, is to see him. So thanks again, guys, for joining us. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Don't forget to join us the next time on Just Saying. We'll see you then.
Bye.
See ya.